Let's talk about this little shit known as Isaiah Sweet, baby. Now, we're going to have some uncut footage of this guy's interrogation, but before that, let's just go through his background. This kid, Isaiah, he's living with his grandparents in their 50s and 60s. You know, they're vibing. Some reason, you know, what the YouTubers say, unalives his grandma and grandfather. So homie is like 17 and he gets an assault rifle and just goes Grand Theft Auto on these people. So we're just gonna dive into the straight up interview because I'm gonna tell you, this thing is crazy, bro. Like, kid is on some straight no remorse type level. So we're gonna see what's going on right here.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, bow down. When was the last time you had something to eat?
4 days ago.
You haven't eaten anything in
Damn.
4 days? Right. And we got more food, so if you wallow that stuff down, you want to keep going.
So he's hungry, you know? He's talkative, he's hungry.
We've got more food, we can keep it coming.
Damn, you guys make me feel like I
Okay.
didn't do anything wrong.
Why do you say that?
Well, let's put it like this. I'm not going to be lying to you guys about anything you ask me.
And I appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay?
Isaiah appears to be taken off guard by the warm treatment from the detective, especially when it comes to being offered additional food. This puts the detective in a very good position, and Isaiah may be more inclined to give him the information he wants to continue to receive this kind of treatment.
They're not going to take this from me, are they?
What is it?
This is a real Rolex.
Okay, where'd you get that from?
I found it in a hobo's tent.
Down there?
Yeah, in CR.
Okay, we'll just keep it up there and we'll probably deal with that later.
Cops. There was like 4 or 5 cops. And
In Cambridge?
Yep. Looking for me.
Okay.
And one of them came up to me, started talking to me, asked if I knew where I was. And I was like, no.
So he
I
didn't
don't
recognize you
Yeah, I
at
was
all?
like, no, I don't even know
come
where he's
on,
at. Like, I had my hair back to here,
Now, what would have been one of the reasons you were pulling your hair back?
trying to not be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
At first, he was asking if I saw the other cops, and I was like, no. And then he was like, do you know who Isaiah Sweet is? And I was like, no idea.
Not a clue who that is. What are you thinking the whole time
So he already admitted to stealing a watch and lying to the police.
he's asking that?
I'm thinking, how fast am I going to run? As soon as he walks away from me.
What I want you to do right now is just kind of relax. Go ahead, eat that food, kind of mound down. Like I said, I want to kind of start and kind of walk back through some things first.
All right.
Okay?
More than anything, I want to know what the brought me to what I did, what's wrong with me.
Sure. Then, you know...
No, like, I'm about to start bawling.
Okay. Hey, Isaiah, if you cry, that's totally fine, man. I respect that, okay?
I want to go back so bad.
How come?
Because I loved them so much. And they didn't deserve that.
How come they didn't deserve it?
If anyone in that house deserved it, I did. More than anyone.
Oh, he's hungry.
Take your time, brother.
No
They
snack like
raised me
that.
since I was 4 and I would fade them with.
Janet and Rick had taken custody of Isaiah when he was just 4 years old, due to their daughter's inability to care for him. Stacy Sweet, Isaiah's mother, had allegedly suffered from substance abuse and could no longer support her young son. But her parents were more than willing to take him into their home. Immediately, Isaiah will answer one of the questions looming over the investigation. But even with this reveal, there are even more disturbing questions left to be uncovered.
When you say what happened that night at the house, what happened?
Shot Bogle.
Okay.
Whoa. All right. So he's just telling it straight up. Damn. But I just want to point out that you know, it's kind of typical. You know, his mom didn't take care of him, probably didn't know his dad. Crazy shit like that happened. So, you know, you gotta look out for that.
What'd you shoot him with, Isaiah?
The assault rifle.
An assault rifle? You remember what it looks like?
It's black.
Okay. What,
Black, bolt action, 10 or more round clip. It's Czechoslovakian,
Okay.
AR-15.
Okay. Okay. It takes a lot to admit that, Isaiah. Okay. That's not an easy thing to do. Okay, and Isaiah, this is...
A Czechoslovakian AR-15. Damn. Sheesh.
Play down with it.
Okay, and I appreciate that.
Although Isaiah has just admitted to killing his grandparents, the detective so desperately wants to get to the bottom of how this horrific crime came to be. In doing so, he ensures that there is nothing preventing Isaiah from answering any question that may be thrown his way.
How you feeling, right? I mean, you're with me right now,
feel like
right?
I don't really know much, but
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Isaiah. You understand who I am.
yes, sir.
You understand I'm a police officer.
Yes, sir.
You understand that the guys who brought you up here, why they had to
Yes,
find
sir.
you, okay, and they brought you up there. There's nothing medically right now that's preventing you to talk to me,
No, sir.
right? But you understand the questions I'm asking you right now, okay? There's no question
They're
that
trying to
you're
make
not
sure
smart
he
enough to
can't
handle these
say
these
some
I'm
questions.
things.
extremely intelligent.
For
Okay.
his defense.
And you know what? I get that. I think you
I
are.
just make stupid choices.
Yeah. And sometimes we do, Isaiah. Look at me.
I'm never gonna be able to go back on it.
And that's, you know what, Isaiah, part of this is that what you're doing today by telling me the whole truth as far as what happened, not only what's leading up to it, but what happened during it. I know it's going to be tough to walk through, but we need to do that, okay? And then we need to talk about what happened afterwards, okay? All the details we need with this is your chance to start healing yourself on the inside. Walk me through Friday. What's going on Friday? Walk me through the time you wake up on Friday morning. We'll kind of walk through
Friday.
When someone's gaze drifts to the left after they're asked a question, this generally indicates that there is some inner dialogue going on in their head. This doesn't necessarily mean they're being deceptive. However, detectives will take note of this behavior.
I sat at home on house arrest all day,
Okay,
And
were
then-
Grandpa and Grandma home?
and then I went down to the basement. There's a door that goes into the garage from the basement. I went up to the garage and then in their room, took the assault rifle out of their room, and then I loaded it with 10 bullets, walked up the stairs, took like a point like this, had earmuffs on and everything. I took a point like this, stepped up one stair so I could see my grandpa's head, boom, pulled the trigger back, pulled the bolt back, shot my grandpa twice in the head.
Where was your grandpa sitting?
Jesus Christ, bro. What you gotta be thinking to just do that? And the way he said it, it sounds like he's sad he did it. Why'd you do it? Hold on, let me back this up.
Grandpa and Grandma home?
And then I went down to the basement. There's a door that goes into the garage from the basement. I went up to the garage and then in their room, took the assault rifle out of their room, and then I loaded it with 10 bullets, walked up the stairs, took like a point like this, had earmuffs on and everything. I took a point like this, stepped up one stair so I could see my grandpa's head, boom, pulled the trigger back, pulled the bolt back, shot my grandpa twice in the head.
Where was your grandpa sitting?
They were both sitting on the couch.
Okay, and where were you at?
I was on the stairs coming up
Like coming up from that landing? Okay, because I've heard, I haven't been inside your house, but you know, some of the guys were up there the other day and they're kind of going through it.
hollow point assault rifle rounds. And then
Okay.
I went up to him and I just broke down, started crying. I told him how much I loved him.
Apparently, the teenager was heading down a tumultuous path filled with partying, substance abuse, and rebellious behavior. During his high school years, Isaiah had supposedly begun to fraternize with a crowd of older kids, where he used substances such as marijuana and methamphetamine.
Oh, that
Along
meth.
with this, he allegedly possessed severe learning disabilities,
That meth will
making
get
his
you.
education all the tougher to accomplish. Unfortunately, this only led to further issues, as Isaiah dropped out of high school at the age of 16. It seemed that after this, the unruly teen's dangerous actions were beginning to manifest at home. During the course of the last year leading up to the horrendous crime, Janet and Rick had called the police 18 separate times on account of Isaiah's unpredictable nature. On one occasion, that in hindsight would foreshadow the events that followed, Isaiah threatened to kill his grandfather and hurt his grandmother, along with burning the house down. On September 8, 2011, police once again made their way to the infamous house to try and stop the emerging incident. They instructed Isaiah to calm down, but instead of obeying the command, the angry teenager retaliated by going at his grandparents once more, before being handcuffed and placed on a couch. It's reported that once calm, Isaiah was informed that he would be charged if the officers had to return to the house. Numerous other encounters consisted of the same nature: violence, substance use, and threats. At one point, Isaiah was supposedly threatening Rick and Janet so much that they wanted him to be placed in foster care.
Damn.
But they were promptly notified that this wasn't an option, as Isaiah's mother would have to be the one to take him in, which the grandparents did not want. On April 11, 2012, the most recent call to the police was made due to the fact that the teenager was using a lighter and aerosol to make a blowtorch inside the house. When police arrived, Janet insisted that rather than arresting Isaiah, she simply wanted him under control. The officers helped to calm the situation before they left without incident. Another call to law enforcement occurred when the grandparents suspected that Isaiah had been using illegal substances, which was confirmed once a search discovered a marijuana pipe within the residence. Despite the history of police calls, Isaiah tells a very different story of this turbulent period in his life, and you'll hear it all for yourself.
I've tried to kill myself every single night since it happened.
He's lying.
Take your time, man.
Come on now.
It's possible that Isaiah is seeking attention or sympathy from the detective.
I just want to know what's wrong with me.
Well, would you agree that there's nothing wrong with you, Isaiah? Would you agree with me on that? From this standpoint, Isaiah, look at me, okay? Okay? I don't think that there's anything wrong with you.
I'm just going to prison for the rest of my life.
Well, Isaiah, let's not focus on that right now. Let's focus on getting past this thing right now as far as what happened, okay? If you can focus on those details with me, okay, we'll worry about all that other stuff later. Okay? You're a normal, smart kid, right? Okay, you're nodding your head at me, yes, all right? And I've spent the last 2 days with a bunch of our other agents. We've been talking to people that know you. I haven't heard one person that said, you know what, that guy's a moron. You're a smart guy. Okay, would you agree with me?
Don't mind me asking.
Oh, we've talked to all your friends, okay? People that used to know you from school, okay? And Isaiah, the story that they're telling us is that you're a pretty smart kid. Would you agree?
Really intelligent.
Yeah, okay. So I don't think that there's anything
I took an
wrong.
ACT pre-test stick out of 32.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But you agree with me there's nothing wrong with you, right?
He's an idiot.
Just whatever came over me other than that, though.
Okay.
The detective may be trying to confirm that there is nothing wrong with Isaiah that could potentially indicate that he was not in his right mind when he committed the
Exactly,
murders. At the same time, it's possible that he's flattering Isaiah about his intelligence as a way to build rapport.
First, I was just going to hit them both in the head with a bat.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be so messy, you know, wouldn't be gunshot from an extremely loud assault rifle.
Sure. What's going through your mind when you're making that choice?
When I came up right behind my grandpa when he was washing dishes with a bat in my hand. I put it right behind his head. Came back like this, and I couldn't do it.
That night?
Yeah.
Okay, did he notice you were back there?
And I came up behind him about 15 different times, and he didn't notice me once.
What about your grandma?
Nope.
Emotionally, it would be much more difficult to kill someone with an object like a bat or knife. It would most likely take numerous strikes to actually kill the victim, so the perpetrator would see their facial expressions and reactions as they were attacked. This may have been part of the reason why Isaiah chose a murder weapon that would almost guarantee a quick finish. It also creates physical distance between the perpetrator and the victim, making it easier to carry out the act.
Okay. Where was Grandma at?
She was out in the room.
What was she doing? She was sleeping. Okay.
The gunshot woke her up.
Okay. The gunshot when you shot your grandpa?
She didn't know what to do. She looked over at her husband. His brain was hanging out of his head. Like, I'm not even being exaggerative at all.
Sure, that wasn't up there.
Like, this whole part of his head right here was gone. And then my grandma's right here, all that was gone.
Okay. Did when you, and we're kind of getting away from that. I know we're going to do that. Okay. Go ahead and take a bite of your sandwich. It'll kind of help calm you down a little bit too. When you went down to go you went and got the ammo first, right? Or you went and
got the gun. Okay, this was after I had it out with the bat.
Okay.
Got the assault rifle, brought it down in the basement, got in the ammo box, it's in the basement. There's over 30,000 rounds for that assault rifle in there.
Does he keep his ammo down there? So you knew his ammunition was downstairs. Yep. Okay. Does he keep it under lock and key or?
Nope.
Okay. So you knew that you'd
Yep.
have free access to it. Okay. And so did you? What did you do next?
Got the hollow point rounds because I knew they'd do the most damage.
When asked by the detective why he chose the hollow points, Isaiah states that he didn't want his grandparents to go through any pain, indicating that he didn't intend to injure or maim them, but in fact clearly wanted them to die.
So you knew that the solid ones, they might have lived through those.
Yep.
Okay. And you didn't want that.
Yeah. But what shot my grandpa, he just dropped, and I heard blood just pouring out of his head. My grandma looks over, and she's like, "What's going on?" Boom. Shot right there, grazed her head, and she was still moving, so I shot her right here through her head.
How close were you, Isaiah?
I could have made the shot for 300 yards. I'm an amazing shot, but I was probably only 10, 15 feet away, if that.
Okay.
Well, honestly, from the barrel of the gun to my grandpa's head, 6, 8 feet.
Next, the detective asks Isaiah why he wasn't able to go through with using the bat as the murder weapon.
Why'd you stop? Why didn't you use the bat?
Bring myself to put them through any sort of pain.
Okay. And I think you mentioned it would have been too messy too, right?
No, I didn't want it to be messy.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to do it with a bat.
Okay. Did you think the bat would be a cleaner way to kill him?
Cleaner.
Okay. Had you done any research on the internet about this, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of websites did you go to?
Let's put it like this. I was typing in best ways to kill somebody and all this And if I would have waited one more day, I would have killed them the cleanest way possible.
Which is what?
Nicotine poisoning.
Nicotine poisoning?
And Isaiah, you understand that these are your grandparents.
They had
You know that they're human beings, they're people, right?
Yeah.
You're nodding your head at me, yeah. Okay. Is there any particular time why you only shot Grandpa once?
Because I heard blood pouring out of his head like
So you knew
fire hydrant.
You knew he was dead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And why the 2 shots with Grandma?
She moved right after I shot her.
Okay. Did she look at you? Or did she say anything after you
She
shot her?
twitched, and I thought maybe it's probably just the twitch they get after they die, where they just create on themselves.
Sure. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, he's been looking up.
I
things
just wanted to
online.
make sure because she was the only one that I actually cared about.
Okay. You think you were closer to your grandma than your grandpa? How long you been living with them?
Since I was 4.
He's a psychopath, bro.
Honestly, I wish I would have myself that night.
How come?
Because they didn't deserve it, and I did.
When it's over, okay, and you know that did you check to see if they had a pulse? Did you check them at all?
My grandma's whole side of her face was blown off, and so was
Okay.
his. So, his brain was on the coffee
Okay.
table.
But you didn't go over and just to double
I
check.
kissed both of them, and then packed my left
Okay, why'd you kiss them?
because I love them.
What?
Kissing his grandparents after killing them could be an indication that Isaiah may have had some sort of emotional response after all. But at the same time, he may be lying, as he would have likely gotten blood on his face or clothes, and he made no mention of changing before packing his bag and leaving. If he is lying, he may be trying to present himself to the detective as remorseful or caring. Furthering this, Isaiah then states that after he had committed the unthinkable acts, he prayed for forgiveness.
Did you pray for forgiveness because you knew what you did was wrong?
Right away, I just did. Right away, I wanted to take it back. I don't know why I did it.
After that, you said you packed up some stuff and then you left. How much time did you spend in the house after they were shot?
Half an hour.
Okay.
Drove straight to Cedar Rapids. Met up with my ex-girlfriend. Then I threw the assault rifle out on 13.
Okay. On Highway 13 or?
Didn't see it on the way back, so.
Okay.
I figure if someone sees a really nice gun laying on the side,
They'll probably pick it up. Okay.
I'm surprised the police didn't find him for me.
Okay. Well, and we'll talk about that too. Okay.
This signals that the detective may already have knowledge regarding the murder weapon, and the police might even have it in their possession.
As you're getting
He's kind of smart. He was like, yeah, let me just throw this on the highway. Whatever criminal comes through, he'll probably pick it up. I mean, I don't know. It's stupid and smart. It's dumb, but...
stuff ready in the house, did you pick up any stuff, take anything out?
This is the first time that there is a long pause prior to Isaiah responding. Long pauses are often associated with deception, especially if it's not typical of the person's speech patterns. When he finally gathers his thoughts, Isaiah states that he took his TV, knives, hydrocodone pills, and $9 from his grandparents after killing them. He goes on to describe what he did following the crime, which shockingly consisted of going to numerous parties with friends.
Are you wearing the same clothes that you were wearing Friday night?
Yes, sir.
So these are the same clothes that
Yes, sir.
you shot
Cops took
Grandpa
all
and
my
Grandma?
clothes. That's in the impound.
Okay, well, are these the clothes that you were wearing when you shot your Grandpa and Grandma?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any blood on them?
From my finger.
Okay, what happened to your finger? Oh, from that. But I mean from your
Oh,
Grandpa and
actually, I was wearing sweatpants
Oh, he's
and
lying.
no shirt when I shot him.
Grandma. Okay. Where's
Because
the
I didn't want to
lying.
get blood on these jeans or the shirt.
Because they're nice jeans.
There's no blood on anything. I made sure I didn't get any sort of DNA from either of them on me.
Okay.
This is a direct contradiction to his previous confession of kissing his grandparents
He's lying.
after having shot them. If his claim of not wanting to get any blood or DNA on him is true, then he probably wouldn't have physically touched the victims.
Where did the blood go when you shot him?
Everywhere. Like, blood. Everywhere. Chunks of... Like, the house is massive. And there was, like, points where it's like, here's the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's go to the kitchen 15 feet away, and there's a chunk of this big laying in there.
Can you go look at it?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I picked it up and I looked at it, and I could see it was from my grandma.
Why is
Didn't that
he
freak you
saying
out a
all
little
this?
bit?
Kinda.
Kinda.
I was like, oh, well, I'm a psychotic murderer anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
But you're not psychotic. I know you're not psychotic.
People often think that any murderer is psychotic, when in actuality, psychotic refers to a specific set of symptoms which may or may not be present in a killer. Psychotic generally refers to psychosis, which involves someone losing touch with reality.
He's
A
very
person
much
with
in touch with
psychosis may have
reality.
hallucinations or delusions and is unable to distinguish between real life and the world inside their head. Isaiah hasn't reported any symptoms of psychosis, and he appears to be well aware of what he did, both at the time of the murders and now. The detective likely wants to put on record that Isaiah understands he was not psychotic when he killed his grandparents, so that it can be presented as evidence when the case goes to court.
I feel really good about myself being so compliant, though.
You should. I mean, and here's one of the things too, Isaiah. And I want to make sure that this is abundantly clear. Is that I know that as we talk through these things, don't embellish anything with me. Okay, you got to shoot me straight. Okay, I need to know. Okay, who was over at the house, who you talked to, and it's not you snitching. You know what that is? It's you telling me the
Are
truth.
they going to get arrested?
I have no control over whether or not they're going to
All
be
right,
arrested.
here, let's put it like this. There was one more gun, and
Okay.
I took that, but I didn't use it.
What gun was that?
Sawn off 12 gauge.
Okay, what'd you do with that?
Sold it.
Okay.
And then I gave the assault rifle to Brandon Allers, gave the TV to Brandon Allers.
So you didn't throw it. You didn't throw away
Nope.
the gun. Okay.
And they transported it out of town right away.
Okay. How come they transported it out of
Okay,
town?
they didn't want hot guns.
Did you tell them it was hot?
They knew I'd killed my grandparents. They came in the house right after it happened.
Wow.
And why would Brandon be going over to your house on
He
Sunday?
wanted to steal the truck. The white truck.
Okay.
He wanted that white truck.
Did he talk to you about that?
Yep.
How did he talk to you about it?
He wanted to know where the title was. He wanted to know where everything was. Or it was my ass.
Okay. And did he tell you that? I mean, had you told him that you'd killed your grandparents? Okay. And what did he say?
He was the one who gave me the nicotine poisoning suggestion.
I thought you said you got that over the internet.
Nope. That was him.
It's possible that rather than protecting other people as he claimed, he left this part out of the story for self-serving reasons. He may have known that there was no explanation for people being in the house after the murders that would fit with his narrative to the detective about how he was immediately remorseful.
If somebody told you what to do, I need to know.
All right, guys, this has gotten a little bit crazier. We're going to come back with part 2 and see who Brian Waters is and what that's all about. As of now, just like shout it out, man. Hit the subscribe button. Fuck with your boy. And at the same time, I want to shout out Explore With Us. They're the ones who dropped this little narration. So go check them out. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, peace. I'll see you in the other video.